Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. Hot 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip-hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7. Live on hot7025fm.com.
What's up, Laugh Therapy and Jokers? Y'all already know what time it is. It is clearly time for Laugh Therapy. We tell y'all every week we gonna get our sound thing together, and every week y'all wait for that burn.
And it's just coming from our mouth.
Every week. But hi, everybody. Ooh, it feels like it's been way longer than a week since y'all last talked to us, or way longer than 2 weeks since you guys last talked to us. So, as you guys know, every week I'm super excited about the conversations we're going to have on here. But this week, we went and got us, y'all. Hallelujah. We went and got us another special guest. I know you guys love when we have guests on here, and it always makes us laugh and have a good time when we have guests on here, because we're able to educate as well as laugh on here and bring somebody kind of into our vibe and mix. So this week, I am super excited. Of course, I always have my beautiful co-host with me.
JD, aka Sunshine. What's good?
And we also have the Mixter Oya, who is going to be discussing BDSM, all the fun things, as well as aftercare, if I'm not mistaken, right? Aftercare, which I'm really excited to learn more about. Hello, Mixter Oya. Tell us a little bit more about what we'll be learning today.
Hello. There's so much to talk about. There's so much to learn, but mainly it's about exploration. It's mainly about liberation. It's about living full out, even with your senses, even with your sensuality and intimacy.
I'm here for it. I'm here for even
y'all
the word selection.
Y'all come with your popcorns today. Get
and
ready.
Your notebooks. Come on, y'all. I know y'all got questions. I got questions. I just don't know what they are yet.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
So tell us, what exactly is BDSM and what does it mean to you?
Okay, so there's several ways to approach that. Some people, it definitely, the B is definitely bondage. The D can be discipline, or domination. Some people think discipline, some people think domination. Then the S is surrender or sado, like the sadistic, like sado masochism. And then M is masochism. Mm-hmm. So like, it's the dance. It's a dance of power. Let's just overall arch it as power. There's the person delivering an experience, and then there's the person receiving it. And that whatever they discuss in that power exchange.
How did you discover that this was something you wanted to get into?
Honestly, I got bored.
What?
That'll do it. All right.
I got bored with my own damn intimacy. And I was having experiences like almost back to back. And while I could have the perspective that I was like, oh, they were lazy, like, oh, they were boring. But then I also started to like inspect, like, what could I have brought to the experience to even shift it, to shift them, to shift my enjoyment or shift their enjoyment beyond just penetration and, one position.
The regular degular.
Right, it's just the regular degular.
Add a little razzle dazzle.
A little play, a little pop.
Okay. I love that.
Okay. Now, a lot of us, I don't think we have been exposed to the BDSM community. What are some common misconceptions about the BDSM community that you've ran into? Or you've heard
that
and
you want to,
you want to dispel.
What this is.
That we're wild. I think there's a common misconception. I think that we be out here just like wilding out, and that you should be scared of entering or connecting with someone who does that stuff, does this, what it is that we do. We literally say what it is that we do, and we are actually probably the healthier people to talk to. We are probably the healthier counterpart that you want to come across, that's going to help you set your boundaries, communicate well, state your desires, work within those parameters and actually establish a space of safety. A lot of times we skip through that in a regular vanilla dating space where we're just kind of with the flow, we just kind of and then we find ourselves in these fucked up positions. I'm sorry, can I cuss?
Yes. Yes. You gonna hear from us.
Yeah,
We just
'cause we
taking
gonna
in
give
the
it to you,
information
honey.
right
Yeah.
now. We just in learn mode.
So in the way that you kind of flow through dating vanilla, and you just kind of wind up, we're taking these innuendos, we're taking these hints, and we're like, oh, let's just go back to my place. Well, if you come into a Kinkster, come back to your place and do what? What we doing? Let's negotiate. Like, let's map this out. So what's all involved? How long we gonna be in there for? Yeah.
So y'all communicate everything.
We communicate.
That is very healthy. Now, does anybody know the history of like safe words? Did that come from the BDSM community?
It did.
I was like, I don't know.
It did. I can tell you it did. It came from the kink world or the BDSM world, but safe words like what it is, pineapples. I think that was the joke. Pineapples for a long time, but that's real. We do use those. They are very, very, very important because let's just say BDSM and kink is an adult playground. So all of the things that our parents told us that were bad, no, all of the things that you were told not to do, we do safely. And I can give you a couple examples that's probably going to blow your mind.
And our mamas are listening.
Right.
Okay, great. So I don't know, but have you ever taken the clothespin out of the collar of a shirt and then like toyed with sliding it through the top layer of the skin?
Yeah.
That's needle play.
What?
As an adult, that's needle play. If you've ever taken the Elmer's glue and poured it in your hand and rubbed it across until it dried, until you could pull it off in one, that's called sploshing in the kink world.
I never knew.
What about candle wax? I had an ex that used candle wax, and I was like,
"What's that called?"
So your parents always told you, "Don't touch the fire; it's hot." Mm-hmm. Well, as adults, we have fire massage and fire play and temperature play.
I thought he was just a little weird. I enjoyed it though. I thought that was just weird.
You did.
He did.
Why you never tell me that?
Because I thought it was weird. I didn't know it was a thing. I enjoyed it, but I thought it was weird. I didn't think it was something you were supposed to bring up to nobody else. To bring up nobody like, so my ex used candles. Want to try that? That just seemed like some weird shit to
Was
say.
it regular candles or scented?
I don't know. It had like some type of oil in it. When he lit it, like the candle turned into some type of weird. It wasn't just wax.
It was
like, it was made specifically for him to rub on me that he enjoyed. Yeah. He really liked. It was hot as shit.
You got to tell us where we can find some of these things.
So that candle that you're talking about is called a soy candle. That's a soy wax candle. We in our world, we know with these. We literally know what color candle burns. Like at what temperature, we know what the candle should be made of versus what it shouldn't be made of. If it is scented, we know like that there's only certain types of scents that are good and ding ding good for the pH balance of the woman. Like we get into
come through.
We get to all of that. So the white candle burns the coolest, and then there's the red, and then there's the black. Black holds heat. We know this by wearing black clothing. So like we know all of this safety mechanism on the back end. So it's really not wild. It's calculated.
Y'all play, but y'all play smart.
Smart. safe, and we bring back the space of imagination and thrill to something that we've been chiseled away at all our life to say what wasn't acceptable. And I've literally met people that I was like, well, why are you into this? And they're like, well, I've never been told that I couldn't be. So there's people out here that are living their freest lives, while there's some of us who are like, I don't know.
That's definitely the description I gave today when I was sending out my reminders. I said, come with your popcorn and your open mind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I was 100%. The first and only person that's ever done no shit like that. And then told me I wasn't being burned. I was like, I know if I'm being burned or not. And he was like, no, yeah, that's your, what do you say, cognitive something, telling you that this is hot because you saw me light it on fire. You're not being burned right now. He's like, just look at me. And he just looked at me and he poured the candle. He was right. It wasn't as hot as I thought it was. It was like in my head that I thought it was burning me. He was like, he's the first and only person I've ever dated that just dead ass like told me you tripping. Like, get your shit together.
I'm not burning you with this hot wax.
Right, with this hot ass wax he's pouring on me. And I was like, he's like, no, you're dramatic. But like in a really calm and reassuring way, but still, like, that's basically what was being said. Like, you're fucking dramatic. I'm not burning you. But yeah, I didn't know that was a thing.
I respect his hustle. I gotta say that. Just look at me. That's power.
Like, intense eye contact, bro. Like, look at me. Yeah. You're not being burned right now. And I did. I trusted him, and he was right. I was not being burned.
And you laid back like a hot.
I was sitting up in like this weird ass shit. Anyway, now we overexposing shit, but yeah, it was nice. It was a nice candly situation.
Okay.
But how would you say, because you just said power, how would you say BDSM empowers individuals to explore their sexuality and desires like that?
Ooh, that's a great question. In exactly the same way that we just you kind of just tipped on yourself. You say, I didn't think we were supposed to discuss that. But BDSM actually empowers you, one, to advocate for yourself, to advocate for your pleasure, to discuss what pleasure looks like for you, and not leaving it for your partner to figure out or stumble and guess all the time. It empowers you to find whatever the chemistry, physical chemistry, all of that, to really take you to the bliss of it all, versus letting Mr. do his business on you. So we get to communicate, we get to talk, and we get to live. I like to say fantasy, but also the movie. Like we become our own main characters in our sexual lives, in our intimacy.
And you know what I found is people like having sex, but they don't like talking about sex. And I think that is part of the issue with the communication piece of it. If people could 100%. Just take that away, there would be a lot more satisfied people in this world.
100%.
I agree. 100%. I agree. Like, if you find the one thing that pleases me, stick to that. We ain't got to talk about nothing else. Like, I feel like that's where most people just settle. Stick to that. You found it. We ain't got to go no further, son.
Ding, ding, ding.
100%.
Okay, so. Oh, yeah. All day. Okay, so what safety measures should individuals consider when engaging in BDSM activities?
Ooh. Well, it depends on what you're doing. It depends on what you're doing, because I mean, there's such a vast plethora of opportunities. You know what I'm saying? As I sit here and put my gloves on, you know.
All right now, that's what I'm talking about right there. Show them the gloves.
But honestly, you know, it is based into the negotiations. I think the first thing to think about safety wise is the negotiations, and that's just to make sure that you are clear on what you're about to engage in. And I like how I teach it, when I teach it, make SMART goals out of your evening. Like, how long we going to be? So is it specific? Is it measurable? Is it attainable? Is it realistic? And is it time
Those are like life goals. Shit.
How long are we going to be in this? How long am I going to be tied up? How is this realistic? And all those questions get answered in the negotiation before you begin. And so if I'm doing rope, well, what if somebody has a panic attack? Well, then safety shears should be very close by, right? And the safety shears are great because they have that little lip on them where you can cut something off. This is what the paramedics use to cut off clothes. Mm-hmm. So you can cut and not worry about the skin underneath. But like, I think anything that you engage in a general sense, you should just ultimately be thinking about what would make this what is the in case of emergency for this scenario, and then make sure that is around you, nearby, and or in earshot or eye shot when you engage.
That makes sense.
My bro on here commenting, he said after sex you always got to have that recap and go over the instant replays. Vic, you crazy.
And aftercare. Ding ding.
Yes. And we are going to get into aftercare because that really intrigued me. I have a little spiel before we get there though. But
that would be me. I think with my, I won't necessarily call them issues, but with my, it's not even a need. I like to be in control. So giving up my control or giving up, like surrendering in the back of my mind has always been what I told myself I couldn't do, which is why I never tried it. But I feel like if the conversation is like that up front, just knowing what my ejectocito, button is or what my word is or whatnot, it immediately shit shuts down. I would still feel like I had at least some sense of control,
Absolutely.
Like just sitting in my back pocket.
Can I get you right quick? I mean, can I get you right there real fast? Hold on.
Oh, get her.
I'm sure you can. Because I'm sure there's a bunch of people out there that's thinking the same way like me. That's what I told her. I was like, this finna flow. Because I got questions.
100%.
I have no problem laying mine bare. I am a bit controlling.
100%. So the thing that people who are controlling don't recognize is that they're already in bondage. Mm-hmm. They're already bound by the things by trying to be in control of so many different things. And the freedom that they are actually seeking isn't letting go. Like it's you're trying to create freedom by controlling, and it's as if you're trying to walk 5 different dogs.
We had to sit with that for a second. We had to let that one breathe. We had to let that one breathe.
Let it marinate. Let it marinate. Because I am. That's always been the fear in the back of my head. Like, what if I say pineapples and they just look at me? Because when you get me down, it's not dangerous for everybody. So that's my thing. It has to be somebody I really, really trust.
I think to your point, that's very, very, very valid. Like the part of making sure that you're vetting your partner, making sure that you trust the person that you're about to engage this with. And if I were slick and I was trying to like be a sub and I was trying to bottom and have that experience, I would be calculating in my head whether they give me or ask me about safe words or not. I wouldn't even initiate the conversation. If you're the top or the dom is not coming to you and saying, do you know your safe word? What is your safe word? Or here are my safe words, then they're probably not safe.
Ooh. Y'all keep that in mind.
Y'all keep that in mind. I'm helping y'all. Listen,
I'm just saying.
That would be one of my things.
The most beautiful, I had a beautiful scene like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, and the person like just, first of all, the text conversation was like one of the sexiest conversations ever. And it was just like, I have a request of you. And I was just like, what is that? Matter of fact, before they could respond, I was like, well, what are your desires? Because I knew where this was going. And they were like, well, I want to have a scene with you. So we have this really beautiful back and forth. And I was like, even then, I said, well, do you desire penetration from me? And they said, yes, more than anything. Me knowing how powerful I am, I say, well, I want to go there with you, but can we set up some understandings and agreements around that? And they were like, well, sure, what's that? Well, I can only be a comment in your life at best. I don't want any hard relationship restrictions after the fact. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be juicy. You're gonna be in your feelings, and I want you to understand that I I'm not gonna be your boyfriend after that.
Yo, we were talking about this. We were talking about this last week, and he said a comment. I said, "What? A comment? Think about it.
A comment.
It's 4
A
seconds.
bright flash, point, and I'm gone, baby."
But you ain't gonna never forget it. You ain't gonna never forget when you saw that comment, baby. Okay.
Listen, and when they got here, I knew what the expectation was. We were standing right in this beautiful ass hallway, and I said to them, I said, "Do you know about the stoplight safe words?" And they were like, "Do you know about the stoplight method?" And they were like, "Oh, safe words?" I said, "Yes." And they were like, "Yellow, red, green, red, yellow, green." I said, "Yes." So red is a hard stop. Yeah. They was like, yeah. They was like, yellow means back off, and I was like, does it? I mean,
To you?
let's make this clear, because in real life, you got a choice of whether to run the yellow light or to heed the yellow light. So we made sure that was clear, and for them, that meant to back down some. Cool. And then, unless I hear red or yellow, I'm going to be in the green, and we just going. When I tell you that sex, that scene, the rope, all of it, chef's kiss, because it was just so clear that once they gave me the go ahead, it was a movie. We made a movie.
And let me tell y'all, I've seen Oya do his thing in person, and it was one of the most transformative things I've ever seen in life. And how tall are you? Let's just break this down.
5'7".
We like close to the same height. You
I'm
5'7", yeah. I'm 5'6", and he is slender, baby. And when he put on them ropes and has control, he know what he doing. So if you are looking to get into the BDSM community, have somebody that know what he doing. Because the things I saw him do, I was like, he gonna be able to do that? He did that. And I was sitting there like Stonewall, like trying to hold it together. I was losing it on the inside. Oh,
Yeah.
but that experience just being there, oh man, it was so dope. He like, I know. He a Leo too.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
It's a thing of, so there's a balance that I kind of try to keep, because the people who talk a lot of shit don't typically know how to do nothing. So I'm very Theodore Roosevelt. I'm gonna speak softly, carry a big stick. Like, until you tap me on my shoulder, you really don't know what's possible. But as Jess is talking about, that particular moment, I lifted somebody who was about double my size, because I know how to I know how to leverage the rope. I know how to make myself take up space in the room. Dominance is more than ego. Let me rewind that back. Dominance is more than ego. It's skill. It is taking an actual intentional initiative to expand your skill set, expand what you bring to the room besides what you were born with. What energy can you manifest? Can you make somebody feel reverent in just by how you reserve yourself in the space with them? By telling them no, not yet. By controlling time or bending it, right? And saying, yeah, we're going to get there when I'm ready, right? and actually taking control of the space more than ravaging someone's body. The scene starts when you tap me on the shoulder. And when somebody like charges me, like I've had people to charge me and ask me, oh, so when you tie me up, and then they ask me second time, when you tie me up, by the second time you ask me in that type of approach, in my mind, you're already in bondage. You're in I don't even need rope. I got you tethered and waiting for me. So you're already in bondage.
Yes.
And I'm like to myself,
I could just giggle to myself.
Yeah, and when he tied her up and she was trying to help, what did you say to her?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
So
how's it
I know exactly what I said, but I was trying to think, like, what was I thinking? I could feel her throwing me off balance by trying to help me. And so I say, I don't need your help.
Mm-hmm.
Surrender.
She didn't want to surrender.
I'd be over there like an origami trying to get myself, trying to make sure I had my latch to get out. Hey, hold on, bro.
Yeah.
Hold on.
And I think, and what's synonymous with life is many times we're trying to fight when in the spaces where we should just let go. Best scenario when I teach this, when you're driving on the highway and your actual textbook, your course book for driving school, when you spin out and lose control or hydroplane, what is the answer to correcting yourself on the road?
Steering wheel go.
Let the steering wheel
let the steering wheel go. You tap
Damn!
Slow tap.
A word!
Slow tap the brake. Slow down. And let the wheel go.
A word. Let it go.
The car course correct itself, because the danger is that you will oversteer and cause more damage by going back into traffic and crossing multiple lanes and then causing a pileup because you needed to control some shit.
Mm-hmm.
Look, you preaching over here.
So this is where we practice in the adult playground of I'm gonna take you in the room. Let's practice this so that you know what to do when you're on the highway. Let go of the wheel.
Let it go.
Let it go, y'all. We're learning.
Okay, so how can someone new to BDSM find a supportive community or like a mentor to walk them through?
Oh, come unto me and I will I'm kidding.
Yes, y'all all yes, if you are looking to be informed, oh yeah, is the person.
So
Yes.
so realistically, I will plug myself, but in a general sense, because I'm not everything for everybody, but in a general sense, you want to vet, you want to ask around, you want to maybe find access. There is websites that you can look up that start with FET. I'll leave it there, but Google it. But there are websites that you can access that will give you community. There's like Facebook. So this website that I'm thinking of is like a Facebook for kink. Okay. And you can go in there and you can look up local, like who's in your local space. Then you can look who they're friends with. You can ask questions, like in this community, because it's self-policing. It is okay to ask questions about people's experiences with other people. So if you want to play with somebody, you go and you ask somebody who they played with, hey, what was your experience like? Were they safe? Did you get what you desired out of the experience? Were they like, how heavy of a player were they? You can ask all of those questions of other people that they played with or are associated with. And then you can ask them directly also. And you can look at their work through the pictures. You can look at whether that's something that whether they offer something that you're interested in. Also, just simply like being a little fearless and putting yourself out there, because you never know who else is into the same thing that you're into. And because you're not saying it, they're not saying it either. And so there's a little bit of that as well. I would say if you follow me on Instagram, or if you follow me
give him your
Facebook,
tag, give him your handle. My
Instagram is Mount MOUNT .Saint SAINT OYA. And so if you were to follow me, you would be able to kind of go through my photos. You can see who I've tagged in my photos. Those people are also kinksters, clearly, because they're in my photos, and they probably will know other people to introduce you to, especially when it comes to like Black people and POC people of color. Sometimes there's a little trepidation there. So finding a black kinkster that has access to other black kinksters is probably prime. That's your best bet. Also, Twitter. There's a lot of
Twitter.
Really?
there's a whole dark side to Twitter. Yeah,
What?
there's a whole
Twitter kink.
I'm not giving y'all my Twitter, but Twitter is.
I don't even have your Twitter, but I'm not on
It's a
Twitter,
Twitter
so.
kink.
Twitter is lit. Actually, I don't care. My Twitter is lit. ZR_OYA is, and then you can see all of the people who I might share there. And then, so just do the social media thing. Don't act like you ain't never stalked your lover like you don't know how to go through people's photos and likes and and follow. That's how you go. That's how you navigate.
It's research. That's good research.
Research.
Yeah, research over me search.
Research. over research.
I got a quick question. Now, you do rope play,
Yes.
right? So with rope play, is it levels to BDSM or is it more like circles that can overlap? Does that make sense when I'm asking?
Are we talking about as far as intensity
Yes.
or like depth into the community?
That's it right there. Depth into it.
Okay. Definitely layers. Okay, so I am one of those people who have been at the city at town hall, city center. I've been in the thick of it, but I have seen the chaos that happens on Wall Street. So what I do is I like to be on the perimeter. Let's say I'm a missionary. I'll be out on the perimeter, and I like to greet people that's coming into the sphere, and let them know what's up. Like let them know like what they should expect and or how to move about in this city safely. Are you following my analogy?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so you met me outside of the perimeter of my city. Me being an ambassador, an advocate, I was able to take what my city is known for and bring it into that conference, and we expanded on how surrender shows up for an entrepreneur. Like, and I think the whole conversation of why I did it at that conference was leaning into, are you even trusting the team that you hired, or are you micromanaging everybody? Like, have you surrendered to the help that you've actually called to yourself? Or are you trying to control everything and being ravaged and taken into the undertow? You're not eating, you're not sleeping because you're not trusting and you're not surrendering. So like we use the rope to go into an entrepreneurial space, but that's outside of my city. If you were to come into the kink world, you're going to see and experience other things. If you go into your local dungeon, and they are there, they are there. They're probably hiding in plain sight, but you're going to see something else when you get into being a title holder, which I am. I'm Mr. Maryland Leather, so I'm like a mayor of a city. I did 2 years. I had to do 2020 to 2022 because I was caught in the pandemic. But you got that's a whole nother depth of it. So I'm a leather man, a leather person. I am a kinkster. But all of that is within my city. When I'm outside, I'm a somatic experience curator. Like I am a somatic specialist. I help you to get back into your body. I'm actually therapeutic outside of my city. Inside of my city, I'm known as a hardcore player. But
Really?
amongst vanilla people, I'm a healer.
Now, how are the different ways that you use rope play other than just kink?
So, circling back to your previous question, as far as the layers, like I have literally taught rope in broad daylight under trees in the park in Georgia. Like I have curated learning experiences around intimacy and connection with literally under a magnolia tree in the middle of Piedmont Park as if it's yoga, right? And I'm talking about how you can build trust, how you can trust your partner, how you can communicate, what safety looks like. I'm talking about like the experience and intentionality. I'm talking about as you're tying the rope to you, what are you intentionally affirming that you're binding to your spirit? As you release the rope from your body, what are you intentionally, moving that you're releasing from your spirit? So like you can absolutely move there. And then there's deeper realms where I can suspend you from a beam above you and make you feel weightless because you surrendered to the experience, and we can go for this whole journey in the air using these ropes. But there's a large spectrum, like in between. There's spaces where, well, maybe you ain't cried in 5 years. Well, then there's a type of rope called semawana rope, Japanese art form, that is based on finding catharsis, right? And then there's other rope that is, well, you need to be grounded. So it's called floor rope. And maybe I'm just going to tie you and leave you where there's nothing for you to do. You couldn't do it if you wanted to, and you can't make yourself busy. You can't scroll your phone, and you're just going to sit there and reflect. And I'm just going to let you do that. You got to sit with yourself. And so there's just this whole range of what you can do. Rope is just a tool. It's what you meet the intentions of it with. Just like money.
I love that. Okay, we just been running up the time here. No, we still got like 20 minutes left, but this is the part that I came home and I instantly wanted to start implementing. Yes. And I think it can not just be for intimate experiences, but I think it can be translated to other experiences. So aftercare. So when you 100%. Did your demonstration and you were done, you did aftercare with the Brittany, and I was just like, oh my God, I need somebody to hold me like that. And It wasn't anything sexual. It was literally just, I know she felt so safe in the moment just because of how you were intentional with caring for her. So first, tell everybody what aftercare is, the basis of aftercare.
So your listener kind of alluded to it earlier. Part of the aftercare is that debriefing. Yeah, we love the debriefing. But aftercare overall is that space it's the space post-play, post the climax of the play, after it's landed and you're done. All the ropes have cleared off the body. All the blindfold is removed and all the things. We are back. And that space of aftercare is where you make sure that your partner has landed from the experience. It's also that place where maybe, for me, this has been my experience, where I am making sure that my play partner is aware that I'm not the monster now that I was 5 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago, or during that.
Because them ladies was ready to kill you, baby.
This is a closed container situation. We started it one way, and so there's ritual to start it, and there's ritual to close it, right? And so the ritual to start it, of course, is that conversation, negotiation, blah, 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 blah. Closing it is the debriefing. It's the, were you satisfied? Did you meet the place that we laid out in the negotiations? It is me, like, you letting me know that you no longer see me as the monster that I summoned to ravage you 10 minutes ago. That also is a space of like catharsis. That can be the space for me where I meet catharsis. If I play really hard and I tear some shit up, when we're in aftercare, I want to know that you don't think that I'm a monster. I want to hold you. I want to like feel your heartbeat slow down. I want to like feel my heartbeats. I want you to feel my heartbeat slow down. I want you to feel my literal care. I'm going to grab you some water, make sure that you're hydrated. Maybe you need something sweet. If you're hypoglycemic, I'm gonna go grab you some sugar. Let me grab a sugar pill or grab a Snicker bar, whatever you need. Do we need to cook a meal? You know what I'm saying? Like but we talk about that, of course, in negotiations as well. I want to say that. aftercare is something that you should talk about in the beginning in negotiation, because there are some people who don't want to cuddle afterwards or don't want to be cuddled afterwards. And y'all just need to make sure that that is clear in the beginning, or else y'all might not be a fit, because after having such a expansive experience, the sub drop can be wild. The top drop can be wild. When the chemicals leave, when all of those pleasure chemicals flood out, without that care, it can be a very little, and so you want to know in advance whether you're going to get those cuddles or not. If you need those cuddles, say that up front. If they say they don't do it, you should probably consider whether they're the person for you, or is there somebody that could do it in their place? Like, maybe you went to a dom that's not your husband, your wife, or your partner. Fine. Can your partner, can your husband, can your wife be the person to come in and wrap you in the blanket after the dom is done? But it is that bringing that nervous system back into regulation. Okay, we had that moment. It was what we desired. I fucked you up, but now we have landed, and now you can have your control back. What do you need? That's if you want it back. Most people don't want it back immediately. Most people want to just you know what? I'm just gonna relish in this because
just sit in submission for a minute.
I'm just gonna sit with it and enjoy. Typically, when I talk about hypnosis, when I'm talking in hypnosis, there's a line that I say in the beginning. When you're in your happy place where no one needs anything, you've done all that you need to do, and here you can just relax. And I don't know, there is so many adults that I have brought to literal tears by just saying those three things. There's nothing that you need to do.
Because as humans, that's all we're doing constantly is thinking of the next thing we need to do. What else we got to do? I called my best friend just 2 days ago. Girl, I got so much things to do. I'm feeling overwhelmed. If you are giving them the space and the opportunity and letting them know this is a safe space, you ain't got to think about none of that. Be here, be present.
Yeah.
Most people don't get that.
And that's why
what would you say are some creative or unique aftercare techniques that individuals or couples should explore or can explore?
Ooh, unique. What was the other? It was
creative or unique aftercare.
Creative
techniques.
or unique. Cooking together is a good one. Cuddling is obvious, but cooking together is a good one. Ice cream, dessert, like I said, sugar, something sweet is typically craved. Going for a walk together, like taking that walk and like taking the debriefing, you're gonna talk about what y'all experienced, but if you could do that while you're going for a walk, that's lovely. And it just prolongs that time of not just getting back into the mundane of cleaning the house, taking care of the kids, walking the dog. I mean, maybe you do take the dog for the walk, but taking the walk to kind of just linger in the meditative space while you talk about what just went down. Painting. Painting is a really good one. Painting together is really useful. Singing or karaoke. Coloring. Super good.
We love to color. Our grown asses love to color.
100%, and they have adult coloring books.
Yes.
And you can literally maybe just bring the color pencils, bring the crayons again, because what that does is that reinforces, especially if you're giving it, if it's the top, the dom, giving it to the bottom or the submissive, you're also still prolonging that space of I don't gotta do shit. I don't have to adult today. I don't have to adult for at least the next 15 minutes. Can I just color for the next 15, 20 minutes before I just roll back into life as usual? Because you just went into an alternative universe in the bedroom or wherever you just got tied up, wherever you just got, that was an alternative space. And you can choose how fast or slow you come back into reality.
Okay, that's dope. I don't know if y'all learning some stuff in here, but I definitely am.
Yeah,
All
we
the
sitting here
jokers.
like students.
Yeah, I know I've been quiet. And y'all know usually I've been cracked to like 25 quips or the jokes by now. I'm like, oh. In case y'all was wondering where my voice went. I'm learning.
Now,
I appreciate you.
let me ask you this: can the concept of aftercare be transferred to different parts of life?
Oh, 100%.
Give us some examples.
So, I honestly, personally think that the play itself, I make it a training ground. Again, I talk about that adult playground. I take the play itself as a training ground. I am pushing in the bedroom or in the scene. I am pushing you, and I am showing you how strong you are, so that you can go out into the world and remember who the fuck you are. Right? We gonna figure this out inside, so that you can go march the streets with your chest out outside. You know that feeling of like somebody says, "Go to hell," and you can respond and say, "I live there." Like, I take ass whoopings for fun. You can't beat me. So,
We are all in hell right now.
right. We are all in hell. And so, as far as aftercare is concerned, it's synonymous to the self-care after the fight. Whatever the fight is that you are, whether it's the corporate fight, whether it's the 9-to-5 fight, whether it's the traffic fight, and then you need to go home and you want to soak in the tub. Yeah, take that time. Make sure you negotiate that time for yourself before your work week starts, or before when you see your calendar looks crazy, and you're about to go into one of those spaces that feels like a throb of life, like everything's going to come down. You got meeting after meeting, you got issue after issue. When you see that next clear spot, what's your aftercare? Because you just been out there tussling.
Okay.
Yes, so guys, aftercare can be applied to many aspects of life. You stressed people out there, give yourself some aftercare after a hard day. You earned it.
Yeah.
Even if it's just cuddling up under the blanket, watching your favorite movie, and not stressing and worrying about anything else.
Yeah,
that's part of
I even
aftercare.
say, like, how something to think about, because I teach this. I teach this in my academy.
Tell them about the academy, boo. Go ahead, tell them.
So I opened the Academy of Transmutation and Alchemy, where I teach people specifically, especially Black and Brown, Indigenous people, women, queer folk, the marginalized of us, the historically marginalized of us. I teach us how to optimize ourselves, and bring our safe, our sexy, and our sacred all into play together to create harmony, hygiene, and high performance. So, for example, if you just had this first of all, what's your ritual for starting your day? You know your day about to be rock socking crazy. What ritual do you have in place that brings out the superhero in you ready to conquer the day? And then after you get home, what ritual do you have to actually shut off work? Do you have a separate phone? Can you turn off your phone? Can you put it on like a specific study mode? How do you check out? Or are you always in this pending space of, I got something to do? Especially those who are in salary positions where their jobs think that their work thinks that they got them for 24/7. My mama don't play that. My mother has written people up for calling her while she's on vacation.
That's what I'm talking about.
Like, where's your boundaries? What do they look like for you actually closing your workday and opening your day with your family?
I could probably work on my day shutting down ritual. My day starting one is strong. My day shutting down ritual could use some tending to. I think it's the opposite for you. I feel like we know when you're shutting down, it's your day starting ritual.
Well, it starts with a cup of coffee. That's all I got. That's
My
all
stuff
I
and
got.
My vitamins.
That's it.
Yeah, I got
My vitamins and my walk now. If I don't get my walk in, I'm now a little sleepy throughout the day.
Yeah. Wait, how can you tell when my day is shutting down?
You ain't doing nothing.
Wait. How often am I not doing nothing?
Well, at least at one point during the day, every day. That's how we know that your day is shut down. You don't sit down often unless you're at the table or whatever. So you'll get up, you'll go do whatever or whatever. You also check out on the toilet.
That is my safe place. Look.
You just go and sit on the toilet and we're like, oh, she ain't doing shit else for at least 30 minutes, y'all. Let's go on and
That's when I need to come back and gather my thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
I can close the door from the dogs and the kids. It's
Or if you sit on the couch and you get a blanket, like if I get a blanket, I might still get up and do something. If you get a blanket, your today is
that's
over.
it. You right. You right.
So like you have telltales at the end of every day where we're like, oh, okay, she's done with whatever she's doing.
And I think that's part of the work is actually just simply being able to identify what you already are doing to make it more intentional when you do it. So if you are the person where the bathroom is your safe space, can you? Now I'm not gonna make this complicated, but can you make it so that your bath is running before you go and close the door? So now instead of sitting on the toilet, you're actually deciding to soak. And maybe there's some Epsom salt in it, right? Like, and we've just taken your sitting in the bathroom and actually made it way more efficient.
My windows power down. Doom, doom, doom.
Because I'm quick to do it. There's plenty of times you'll think I'm doing something else and walking in and I'm having a spiritual bath. My today is over. My today is done. Okay, I got Epsom salt, all kind of oils in here. You see the oregano, girl. Go on about your business.
The oregano still sitting in the bathroom, man.
You see it? I'm in here like Bugs Bunny. Mind your business.
Doing la da 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 dee.
So here's what I would interject. What I was going to say earlier is, can you work with each other? So now I'm about to go into my coaching space.
Okay.
Where you know her bath recipe and you know her bath recipe. And then, so you draw the bath for one another. When you know that they're about to go, so now you ain't got to worry about prepping your own. That's a whole nother space of like freedom.
The stuff you gotta do, stuff you ain't gotta do no more. You want me to start running your baths?
Yes.
And vice versa. And vice versa. But like just
your bath.
getting that space of intimacy where you can feel each other's care.
I love that.
I do too.
I love that.
I like that a lot.
I'm gonna ask for a bath tonight, right? I'm gonna text you and say, "Here go my bath water."
Yeah.
It's about my oregano. You getting Italian seasoning? We such.
Oh, Kelly.
But you right.
Kelly is on. She said she came on late. Kelly, you can watch the replay on the YouTube channel. If y'all miss anything, y'all can definitely go back and replay.
He was dropping gems, y'all.
Yes, and we were just sitting here like eager
Absorbing.
students, eyes wide open.
I got another one. One more.
Okay.
Okay.
The power exchange.
Oh, yes. I forgot to ask about that. Oh.
That's simply, literally, that boils down to who's the initiator in the moment. So one of the pieces of advice that I've given to one of my women friends previously is like, she was saying how like she blowing her man's neck the wrong way and he ready to go when she needs time, right? She needs an experience to get it going. And so what I told her was to like, when she needed it and wanted it, to take her care into her own hands and then leave her panties in the sink when she was actually ready. Matter of fact, not only do you leave the panties in the sink, if he don't get the hint from that, go and swipe your finger across his nose after, but that's after you've given yourself the time to be primed and ready. So then when you press his button, y'all are in the same pacing.
I like that.
So she becomes the initiator versus the mistaken initiation that she's not ready for.
I like that.
Leave that with you, and you can expand that and play with that however.
It's gonna be a
like.
whole bunch of draws in the sink.
Oh,
Sexy,
like,
though.
when did you start hand washing your panties?
Make sure they're sexy though, please. Just make sure they sexy.
Oh man, it has been a pleasure. Thank you so
Absolutely.
much. Can you give us all your social handles before we gotta go? Well, I think we got a few seconds left.
Sure thing. So my Instagram, Mount.Saint-Oya, spelled all the way out. Mount.Saint-Oya. My Facebook is XIROYA. My Twitter is also XIR_OYA. That is an adult site. Okay? Do not go to
You've been
my age unless you are grown and grown and sexy. But those are my links. And also, I have a website, reimagineyourlegend.com, if you want to book an exploratory call about how I could possibly assist you or coach you. My website, reimagine, spelled all the way out, yourlegend.com.
All right, y'all. Well,
We had so much fun with you today, Oya. Thank you so much for joining us.
I had a
Ladies
blast.
and gents, all the jokers, and Hot 702. Ooh, I was about to make up a radio station. That ain't even what we are. Oh, yes, it is. Hot 702.5 FM. Thank you guys for tuning in every Thursday. We will see you guys next week at 4. Thank you, Oya.
bye.